So I have a spreadsheet that I use to keep track of attendance in my classes, and it has evolved over the last couple of years, and finally got to the point where I hated copying my roster data into it and having to clean it up, so I automated the process. And it's not that the spreadsheet is anything special, but it occurs to me that it might be useful to other faculty, so I am making it available, and you are welcome to use it however you want, modify it however you want. If you have any ideas for how I could make it better or something that you need to make it more useful, please let me know. And obviously, if you have any trouble with it, let me know, and I am happy to help. So the first thing you're going to realize when you open this up is that this spreadsheet has what we call macros, and we don't care what they are at the moment, but it results often in this little security warning. So if you want the spreadsheet to work, you have to click the Enable Content button. And that's a setting you can turn off in Excel, but I don't recommend doing that unless you understand what the implications of it are, because macros are a pretty big security concern. Anyway, we start off here with a help page that really just says what all the attendance codes are that the spreadsheet uses. More interesting to us at the moment is that the bottom has these different tabs, and we'll take a look at the sample, which is just a fake class with some data in it so that you can see how it works and try it out, and try keeping attendance or see how the codes work without messing up any actual data. So you can do whatever you want to this sample, and you can see that the X means a student was present, a T is tardy, a P means partial, like if they leave early or if they're gone for a significant portion of the class. I don't actually use that code very often, but it's there. A is absent. And for both partial attendance, whether it's a tardy or a T or a P, we get a count, and for absences, we get a count. I don't use it myself, but I also added the idea of an excused absence. To me, an absence is an absence. But if you want to indicate that somebody was absent without counting it against them, you could put an E, and that won't count as one of their absences. So those are the basic codes. The other two that you'll see is a question mark, and a question mark means that day I forgot to pass around the attendance sign-in. So I don't know exactly who was absent. And it works sort of per student. So maybe I had a conversation with Kent Brockman that day, so I know he was present. I can put an X there, and it will only apply to him. And maybe Millhouse came to me later and said that he was absent. So I know he was actually absent there, and I want to have that recorded accurately. I can record that however I want. The other attendance code that we have is to indicate that the class didn't meet on that day. And so maybe Monday is a holiday or spring break, we want to not count attendance that day. So if I put an H for holiday, it will shade that out and make it sort of unusable. I can put H's all the way down. I can also delete them if I just delete the H that was there to get that back. So that's the basic idea of how the spreadsheet works. All right, so if I'm ready to create my classes, then there is a tab here that says Create Class, and the idea is it has a series of steps that you just follow one at a time, and it will walk you through setting up all of your courses for the entire semester. And the first thing you want to do is save it with a file name that makes sense. So the way I use it is I have one file for the whole semester that includes all of my classes. And then at the end of the semester, I'm going to archive that so I have records, and for the next semester, I will create a whole new file. So that's the intent. You don't have to use it that way, I suppose. So I like to save it with the sort of the semester name embedded in the file name. So I'll call mine Attendance for Spring 2017. And the rest of the steps are basically just asking you for some information about the class. And so the first one is a short description of the class. And it won't accept kind of funky characters in there, so we keep the names kind of simple. I'm going to make it one for CIS 105. And if I have, maybe I have two CIS 105 classes, maybe I have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a Tuesday, Thursday, I can indicate that with my name. Maybe I have a morning one and an afternoon one. You can customize it a little bit that way. But I'm just going to call this CIS 105. And then I want the first day that the class meets, and I don't know what day Monday is in the spring. It looks like I missed it by one. Oh, I typed it wrong. 1/16/17 should give us a Monday. And then what is the last day of class? The last day that you want to keep track of in terms of attendance. So that really should be the Friday of the week before finals, and that's not right. Missed it by one again. Actually, Thursday probably is the last day of the class. I don't remember, so we better do 12/17. There we go. Obviously, I'd normally have a calendar in front of me to figure that out. And then I have check boxes for which days the course meets. And so if it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, I will check those. If it's a Tuesday, Thursday, whatever fits the schedule that you have for that course. And so now I've got all the basic course data, and I'm ready to go get a copy of my roster. And what it says is that I need to copy but not paste the roster from the SIS printer-friendly view, which sounds sort of scary. So let's take a look at SIS and see how it works. So here's my schedule, and I'm going to make a spreadsheet for this first class, CIS 105. The icon on the far left is my class roster. If I click that, I get a class roster. The problem is that it has hyperlinks in it, and it has photos, or at least the icon for a photo, and all this stuff that we don't need and is going to mess up Excel. So what I want to do is scroll down to the bottom, and there's a link that says printer-friendly version, and that's what I want. So I'm going to click on the printer-friendly version. And now I get a chart, a table with my roster, and what I want is all of the student data, but none of the other stuff. And so on the left-hand column, it has a count of the students, 1 through whatever, and on the far right, it has status notes. And so I want to get from student number 1, including that number in the top left, and I want to go all the way down to the bottom right with all of the data. And so I'm going to highlight all of that, and then I'll right-click and say Copy. And that's it. That's all I need to do. So now we're going to go back over to the spreadsheet, and I'm going to click the blue button to create a class. And then I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that it got the data copied correctly. And so I want to look over what it's done. I want to look and see that the student information looks like it copied correctly. There may be an extra line at the top or some extra stuff down at the bottom. You can choose to just kind of clean that up yourself, or you can hit the delete button and then go back and try the copy again. So the other thing you want to check is the dates that the class meets. So I checked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I should have Monday, Wednesday, Friday going all the way across. And then it tacks one on the end for the final exam in case you need to keep attendance for that. So once I've decided if it looks good, again, the delete button will just wipe out what I've done and let me try again. The OK button keeps it. I've still got the CIS 105 tab down there, but I've come back to the Create a Class screen so that I can set up my next class. And so maybe I have a CIS 162 AD or whatever my next class is. And then I can go through the whole process for that class, click the Create a Class button. It will make a new tab, and I keep going, I keep repeating until I have all of my courses set up. Once I've done that, all I need to do is click the Cleanup button, the red button. And all that does is it hides the Create a Class tab and the Sample tab. So I'll say yes there. And it keeps the Help tab so that you have that little reference. But now I've got all my classes in separate tabs. It looks funny here because I have the same students in both classes, which obviously wouldn't be the case. But now it will work pretty much like a regular spreadsheet, and you're welcome to experiment with it and make changes, as I said. If you have any trouble with it, let me know. My email is on the help page, and I am happy to try and help you get it sorted out.